All right, hope everybody's keeping well. And yes, we had a few technical issues last time, so hopefully those have been ironed out and we'll get a bit smoother. But what I'm doing today is I did an article a while back. It was that 2015 in Chase and Silver magazine, and it was on Bann Specials, and basically the whole family of Bann Specials. It was called All in the Genes. So as part of that, there was this different sort of range of different flies as part of that. So I suppose it's really a family of Bann Specials. So all day this week, I'm going to tie some of the patterns from that. And the first of those was a Bann Special. So yeah, there's 4 different patterns as part of this this series. And yeah, each time I'm going to tie one of those. And at the end of the week, I'm going to give those flies as part of Willie Dara's and Sammy Glenn's charity auction for the NHS. So yeah, all a very worthy cause and great work, guys, and keep it going. So yeah, we'll just get started. As I say, hopefully this will work a little bit smoother and slicker than it did last time. But yeah, Bann Special, probably one of the best flies, Irish shrimp flies that there are. Been around a long time, caught thousands of fish, but a really, really good pattern, good all-round fly. So yeah, we'll just get started. So the hook I'm using again, this is a size 8, so hopefully it'll be a wee bit easier to see this time. And the thread I'm going to be using is UTC 70 again. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to change threads halfway through. I'm going to start with white thread because the rear half of the body is seals fur, and it's a sort of yellow seals fur. So I want to use a light tan thread. If you use a dark tan thread, once it gets the fly gets wet, you'll start to see that black through it, and it sort of dulls the color. So I always like to do a white tan thread at the beginning. So yeah, let's get started. And if anybody's any questions, yeah, fire them ahead, and I'll do my best to answer them. And hopefully, yes, Bobby and Willie is a wee bit slicker, a wee bit quicker this time. So hopefully shouldn't take too long. So yeah, we'll just start again, just as usual, around about the middle part of the fly. It's a good reference in terms of your middle point. And then the tag in this fly is silver oval. So I'm just going to grab a bit of that. And we'll just cut a length to get us started. And yeah, normally what I do is I always tie it underneath the fly. Just keeps everything nice and neat. So just bring that level to the point that you've tied it in. And just work down to the tail of the fly. And come back up. And as I mentioned in the video yesterday, a good sort of reference point is the tips of the hooks, is the flat bit of the hook. So then nice touch and turns for the tag. Just work your way up until you reach the tips. I'll do there. And then just move that tag underneath the fly, and then we'll just cut that off. And again, just use your thumb to flatten that down. But that's basically our tag. And then the tail of this fly, it's a traditional Irish shrimp fly, so it's golden pheasant. So this is a natural golden pheasant skin. And the feathers I like to take, some people would use the rump feathers, which are these ones here. But the ones I like are the ones just at the breast here. Just really nice. Generally the best sort of quality feathers I find, and the best range. The rump feathers are good, but generally they're quite often one size. So if that's the right size for the fly that you're tying, great. But in terms of the variety of feathers, is these ones here are the ones to use. So yeah, basically what I've done is I've selected one which is the right length, and I've stripped off the waist to give us a nice neat fly. And I mentioned yesterday just that the Fahan copper shrimp I like to do it at just about a length, or maybe slightly more than length of the fly. And so if you can see here, that's just, in terms of length of that, that's just about right. So yeah, to tie that in, we just go down to our tag. And because it's traditional, I'm doing this the traditional Bann Special. I'm not going to tie some bling. As I say, I'm quite known for bling, but we'll go traditional just to keep the traditionalists happy. So what we'll do is we'll just tie that in at the side. We'll work our way up. And then if we gather the middle part of the feather and just stroke that back, and what that'll do, that'll just help to start to double that feather. We're just going to wrap that round. I'm just going to cut that off just to make it a wee bit neater. And I'm also going to use some hiccup pliers. Just makes it a bit easier to turn. So basically what we're doing is just wrapping that round, and every time we do a wrap, we're just stroking those feathers back. And as I say, golden pheasant have a habit of being a wee bit tricky to tie with. Sometimes they have a bit of a mind of their own, but just keep stroking those feathers back. And that's us. So we'll just tie that off. As I say, we're going to tidy this up in a wee minute. It looks very messy at the moment. Just make it a nice level base. And what I'm going to do is a wee bit easier to, quite often, just to, when you're tying this off, just to do it off the vise. So what I'm going to do is just use the dubbing needle just to bring some of those the right way. And as I say, doubles are actually much easier than trebles to tie with. Trebles can be very tricky. That's a bit looking a bit more presentable now. So we'll just put that back onto the vise. And you can see that's a nicer sort of a more even look now. But what I want to do is, golden pheasant isn't sometimes maybe the strongest feather. So what I generally like to do as well, just do a couple of turns over the top of that, just to strengthen the feather down. So we'll just come up here, and we'll just do a couple of wraps just over the top of that. And that just helps to make it a wee bit of a stronger fly. So that's basically our tail in. The next bit then is a rib, and on the Bann Special, it is silver oval. So what I'm going to do is tie that in now. Lots of different silvers or utensils you can use. Lagarten is a very, very good one. That's what I would generally use for my ribs. But yeah, so we'll just tie that in again underneath and work our way back to the tail. If you have a material grip, you can use that. It can be quite often quite handy. And then for the body of the Bann Special, I suppose there's two different body materials you can use. The normal one, or maybe more common one, is seal's fur, yellow seal's fur. That's maybe the traditional sort of material you would use. Lots of different seal's furs. I like Frankie McPhillips, just a nice, it's not too coarse, but it still has a good bit of appearance. So just grab a bunch of that. And we're going to make a dubbing rope. So just dub that on. And as I say, the wax should make it a little bit easier to dub. And as with, I suppose, with all tying, you can make this as dense or as sort of sparse as you want. Generally, I like sort of a medium. So yeah, just start down at the rear. Just work your way up. And if it gets a bit thick, just do another few wraps just to tighten that up. And then just stroke that back. So that's basically that. You can, as I say, you can make it your own preference, how straggly you like it. I like a little bit of straggle, but not too much. But I suppose this is again one of the things that can be particularly good about when using these sort of bodies. It provides a very nice profile for your fly, and I mean profile in terms of the water. So basically, 3 turns will be enough. And then I'm going to cut that off. And I'll keep that part there for the front. And at this stage, I mentioned before about the tying thread. So what I'm going to do at this stage, because the front half of the body is black, so I'm just going to change the thread. I'm just going to change it to black UTC. So we'll just put this into the bubble. Hopefully if I can. Right, get that attached. And then just attach that thread. And then we'll do a little bit of wax just to help this grip in. So we're going to tie a hackle now. So the color of hackle from the Bann Special is orange. So this is a feather I tied before, or not tied before, prepared before. So again, took off the waste material at the bottom, and I did that little nick. Probably you can see it a wee bit easier. Just at the tip, towards the tip of the fly. And as I say, I find that just helps to tie it in. Just tie that at the side. And then the way I double it, as I say, just use the back of a pair of scissors and just stroke that up. And that starts to introduce the upward sloping angle that you want. Just with your fingers, just start to tie that in, or double that over. This wax hasn't been used too much, and it's just not quite sticking as much as I would liked, but there you go. So hopefully you can see, yes, that hackle has now been doubled over, and that just gives a neater hackle. So before I do that, I'm just going to cut off that and get our hackle pliers again, and then just do our turns. And as I mentioned yesterday, I like I suppose maybe non-traditional style with the Irish shrimp. So it's a longer front, a longer middle hackle, and then a shorter front hackle. Just take off that excess. And not to tempt fate, but we've had no standby issues today, so allow me to continue. And then just with your finger, stroke that back. And we'll cut that stalk off. Right. That's the middle hackle. And then in the front of the body, again, we've got our silver rib. So we'll tie that in now. That's the same as the silver oval. Tie that at the side. And then the doubling is a black seal spur. So again, lots of different brands. I like Frank McPhillips, just as I say, I think gives a nice combination of sort of coarseness and straggliness, if there's such a word. And also, it's not too coarse, so you can sort of work with it. So just double that. And just, as I say, always in the same direction. Then you create a nice dubbing rope. And then just come over a little bit over that. Over the hackles. And yes, it's very much his personal preference in terms of how much dubbing, how straggly you want it to get. I don't like it overly, but I do like some. So you can trim that to your desired level. And then what I'm going to do is just then do the rib. So generally with the rear of the fly, you can get 2 turns of rib, and the front of the fly is generally 1, which sort of corresponds to the 2/3 2/3 body. So the rear is 2/3, and then the front is 1/3. So that's generally how I like to do it. So the fly is starting to get there. So I don't like it to be overly much. Right. So just 2 more bits of the fly left. So the first thing is our jungle cock eyes, or roof jungle cock, not eyes. Jungle cock, again, lots of debate about it, but this pattern calls for it. So here's a couple I prepared earlier. And generally, whenever I'm tying them, I tie them in at one time. Just finds it's a bit easier to tie. Just tie those in like that. And then just for strength, I like to double them over. No, it's just not quite sitting. I would like it. It's a bit better. Yeah, I like to double them over, and that locks them in, so they're not going to go anywhere. And then just trim that off. Right, and then the last bit of the fly is the front hackle, And on the Bann Special, it's a badger. This is a whiting genetic silver badger. Some of the traditional ones I think were actually more of a sort of a yellowy badger. But I like I just like the these particular feathers. So just tie that in at the side. And then you just use the back of your scissors just to stroke that back. So that helps just to introduce that backward slope of the hackle. Hopefully you can see that. And then just cut off that tip. So we're nearly there. Don't know what time. 21 minutes. Not too bad. Hopefully Bobby and Willie haven't snoozed off yet. But yeah, just tie them in. Tie this hackle in. So one of the reasons why I like the whiting genetic capes is they're a very nice feather to work with. Yeah, they just have a nice fly. And again, I just like to strip off the excess before I tie it off. Prefer to tie on bare stalk. Sorry, this is a bit of a squeaky thing of thread. I just want a bit of wax on that. Any rogue feathers, just tie that. And that's pretty much it, guys. So just cut that off. There's one Bann Special. So do a whip finish. And that's pretty much us. So hopefully you've enjoyed that. If you have any questions, as I say, feel free to ask me them. Oh, that's a very squeaky one. But yeah, that's our Bann Special. When I take that out, that'll look a bit better. Actually, I put a wee bit of varnish on the head. What I'm actually going to do, quite often, I stopped using varnish, and now I quite often, certainly with the first coat, I'll do a wee bit of UV, which is actually, which I find works well. It's just a bit quicker. So generally what I do is I do one coat of this, and then do 1 or 2 coats of varnish. I just find it gives a nice finish. Okay. So that's pretty much that. Set my always something. My UV thing has stopped working. There's always something with the live stream. Oh, here we go. Must need new batteries. So we'll just cure that with the UV light. And then that's us. So as I say, Bann Special. Hopefully you've enjoyed watching that. Very, very good pattern. Catches fish all around the world, again, from basically everywhere. But one of the sort of the granddaddies of all our shrimps, and really, really popular. So as I say, I'm going to include this as part of the one of the auction lots that Willie and Sam are doing for the NHS. Great cause, and again, thanks everybody who's contributed to that so far. Yeah, and the next one up, let's have a look. What the next one? What is tomorrow's fly? Tomorrow's fly will be the orange and gold, which is the fly from the cover picture. And interestingly, as you'll see, no jungle cock, which is a debate in itself. So there you go. As I say, hopefully that has been useful. You've enjoyed that. We've had no glitches that I'm aware of, except hopefully nearly a UV thing didn't work. But yeah, join me again tomorrow. If you like what you saw, subscribe. And as I say, particularly stay safe at this time, stay inside. And yeah, enjoy your time. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.